Greetings and salutations, fellow cruisers and pirates and buccaneers. What is a buccaneers anyway?
Somebody from Tampa.
That's what it. Oh yeah, they got the pigskin game down there. Is that the? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, game.
Welcome back to Cruise News. It is Tommy Danielsen here and my counterpart Marshall Jackson reporting from our studio in the nation's capital. Is that a diploma on your wall behind you there?
Yes, actually.
You went to school? That's amazing.
I even graduated.
Huh. How about that? So we wanted to report a little bit of what's happening in the cruise industry. And would it be fair to say that in the last 3 weeks, there has been, it hasn't been that eventful?
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet.
Really. Yeah, it's been quiet, I'm not going to lie. We've had, except for drama and a little bit of other stuff, then it has been. It was kind of tough going through trying to find an overview over things. So, if we were to start with the drama, we have seen that some cruise companies are temporarily canceling their stops into Puerto Vallarta in Mexico because of the civil unrest that's going on down there. And looks like Carnival, they do have a few stops down there.
Yeah.
So they're doing the West Coast cruises starting out at Long Beach. And it looks to me that what they're communicating that it is pretty temporary.
I suspect so. It feels like things have already started to calm down there. I haven't looked to see if any airlines have begun returning.
Yeah, I think that it's temporary because it's nobody, even not even the bad guys are going to be. It's not good for either one to impede on having military in the streets and stuff like that. So obviously that's a gig. But if that's on your stop, you should probably check your itinerary if you haven't already. We have an interesting piece here, which came out earlier this month about the new Discovery class. We mentioned this a little bit earlier that Royal Caribbean is thinking about a new class of ships. And this isn't what you think that it'll be, larger than any town USA and making it even bigger. This is a little bit different. So you know a little bit about this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think these ships are going to be, quoting air quotes, small per se, but they are going to be smaller than some of the latest, the Icon class, the Oasis class vessels, because the Royal's older, smaller ships are beginning to kind of get close to aging out of service, and they need something that can access some smaller ports.
Right. So, and also. I think you have more experience than me. I was on the Norwegian Epic a few years back, which has like 4,500 maximum. I didn't really feel the size of the ship very much, except for when we were getting off and getting on.
Yeah.
So
I've sailed on a few Oasis class vessels in the 6,000 guest range. They manage the crowds very well. I felt it, after shows and dinner time, in and out of dinner, and then as you say, getting off the ship, you'd notice it on occasion.
Yeah. So what has been said here about the Discover class? It introduces a bold new concept that puts our guests at the center of it all. It will deliver extraordinary, one-of-a-kind experiences from cutting-edge design to immersive moments. Every detail crafted to surprise and delight guests in the way they've never imagined. All while visiting truly breathtaking destinations around the world. This completely new class this is a completely new class. And it's going to be nothing like nothing you've ever seen before. That's a whole lot of nothing in 3 sentences right there.
Nothing beats it, I suppose.
Right. No, but I can see that because they've got these ships that go to Alaska. Even though I did see, was it an Oasis or was it what's the name of the one that's under I think it was one of the Oasis class.
one of the Quantum class ships that
right, that we saw
yeah.
that put Skagway in the whole city of Skagway into shade when it was there.
Yeah. It's even though they're smaller than Oasis, they're not small.
Right, I know they it was pretty smart. This is pretty big. So I do. There are many places in the world, and I do think that there is a demand in the market. I feel more comfortable, even if it might not have as many. It might not have as many
The
restaurants and offerings as the larger
things.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there is definitely an interest in that. All right, so good news from our friends over at Four Seasons. The most creative naming of a ship I've ever seen. So the name of their first ship was delivered yesterday, February 25th. It was Fincantieri has delivered the first ship to Four Seasons, and it's named. Ready for it? Four Seasons 1. Yeah. And we took a look at this ship. If you go back a few episodes from last year, we took a look at it. They have a cabin that's 10,000 square feet on that ship.
It's it's bigger than my house. So yeah.
Right. The flagship funnel suite spans 450 square meters of indoor-outdoor private space. It even has its own pool outside, which is kind of insane on a cruise ship, isn't it?
Most definitely. Some insane pricing to go with it too, I suspect.
Yeah, but I think we looked at it because they're pricing it out as per cabin. They're pricing it as a hotel room more than they're pricing it out as a classic per person situation. So, I mean, you can get it for like less than 10 grand per person for a week. So it's obviously not for, if you were to compare it from a Westin or a Marriott to a Four Seasons, I would say that, and you'll do that from, whatever. If you look at, you'll have it kind of tough to find the Haven or any of the ships within the ships under $5,000 these days per person. So, and we found that 95 cabins on the whole ship doesn't sound that bad to me. So now it's delivered, and hopefully we will. And it starts. When does it start? A little bit later this year, maybe a couple of months from now.
So yeah,
yeah, it's not very far until that. So if you are one of our affluent friends, not us, but somebody we know some people with some deep pockets.
Deep pockets. They should sponsor us.
They should. We should be adopted to try a week on the Four Seasons.
Absolutely.
1.
We could get to see our friend Captain Kate, formerly of Celebrity.
That's cool. She's going to be on the first one?
Yeah, she's the inaugural captain.
That's cool. Yeah, I liked her a lot. I'm so sad to hear about her cat passing. That was such a tragic thing. It's terrible. So it's good that she's back on the horse, and they couldn't have found a better, more vibrant person than her. Maybe there is a kitten.
Maybe
we'll see. We will see. Maybe there will be a kitten on this boat, and maybe it'll have hair this time.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right. Well, moving on to and MSC has had some tie. They have these Formula One simulators here, and they are going to. So Alpine is going to unveil their Formula One car on a cruise ship this time around. That's kind of interesting. So where and when will this happen? Flavio Briatore, the old Ferrari boss, is now the boss of this team. So I don't know how much you know about Formula One.
Not much, Tommy, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah.
I'm from NASCAR country.
Oh, okay. So you shouldn't make a sharp turn. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
There you go. Doesn't say which ship it is going to be shown off at, but they're saying that it's going to happen on an MSC cruise ship. So there's not a lot of information in this. This is Kenya News platform, but I've seen it in other ones as well. But a lot of people want to tie into Formula One, and it seems to be taking off here in the U.S. That a lot of people are doing more Formula One stuff here. So
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting.
we're apparently having a little Formula One race here in the nation's capital this summer at some point.
There you go, and maybe a wrestling match or two.
Maybe we might do that too, for sure.
There you go. All right, let's move over to Norwegian. Seems to be having a couple of changes to its organization, where they've appointed a new CEO to join on board, and it is this fellow here named John Chidsey. And Elliott Investments, which we are a little familiar with.
If you know anything about Southwest,
yeah. If you know a little bit about Southwest, so I would say that they took a wrecking ball to a lot of people's favorite airline, and I did a show on this channel about. No, actually, I didn't do a show on this channel about it. I should have done a show on this channel. I put it out on social media before my Lenten break of social media. I talked a little bit about my first experience with being seated out with the news concept of Southwest, and I was not pleased with that. So if that interests you, it's pretty much a cutthroat investment company who is all about profit and not about customers. Or so sounds like Marriott kind of. But they have hired a new CEO. I guess there's some scrutiny about that, and the missteps in private island development and ship deployments have eroded NCLH competitive edge with Royal Caribbean and Carnival Group. Activist investor Elliott Investment Manager argued in a presentation outlining the visions of NCLH overhaul released on February 17th. So they've got the new CEO on board now, and it's interesting to see that they got a CEO to step down, and hopefully this John Chidsey guy won't Southwest the hell out of a Norwegian cruise line. I don't know much about the cruise industry's inner workings like I do with airlines, but if it's Elliott driving the bus, then it can't be good. I think it's fair to say that, huh?
They'll be pushing for ways to increase profits for sure. I did see they also involved a former Royal Caribbean executive, Adam Goldstein. Don't know if it's mentioned in this article or not, but he's consulting at least with.
Yep, I see it here.
Yep, here we go.
Elliott is considering Adam Goldstein, who spent 32 years at Royal Caribbean, as a board nominee. So this article is from. Are we going to stop putting? I
guess.
Here we go. 22nd. So that was this week. So Goldstein is nominated to be on the board. Yeah. We will see what happens.
Wrinkle. He's a fairly accomplished guy. I'll tell you this. I own a few shares of Royal Caribbean, not enough to retire, unfortunately, today. And I wrote him once about a issue. It was actually a compliment. He responded to me within minutes. I mean, I was fairly impressed.
That is interesting.
Getting an email that quickly from a fairly high-level executive at a company. But I did say, hey, I own shares. So.
No, you did say that.
I did.
And the truth is that the shares we have invested in our cruise company is to get a $100 onboard credit every time.
Funny how that happens.
Exactly.
But my investment in Royal Caribbean has done marvelously well.
Yeah, it depends when you bought, but since the pandemic, also it has taken off like crazy, and that's not just Royal Caribbean. Also, Norwegian Cruise Line has also gone up ahead. So, anyways, but we will take a look at another Norwegian news today, although this is not technically about Norwegian Cruise Line. It's a former Norwegian Cruise Line executive who was arrested in Argentina for a $2 million fraud scheme. He was the senior director of events for between June 21 and he also defrauded the Norwegian Cruise Line for $2 million between 2021 and 2023. Bogus vendor companies for goods and services is what he did, and I guess he fled to South America after getting canned, and now the long arm of the law has caught up with this feller.
Huh. The auditor in me wants to talk about internal controls at Norwegian Cruise Line.
Yeah, if he's able to set up a vendor to pay a bill for an invoice, two individual payments as high as $165,000, that appears to be kind of a little bit of a lot. Well, at least, I'm not going to go down that avenue, but let's not talk about that. All right, so here's an interesting fact that Silver Sea is opening a hotel. And, back in the days, there used to be airlines used to own a ton of hotel.
Right. Americana.
Right. And also, till this day, they actually do. ANA in Asia or in Japan, they own a ton of hotels. And it appears that they are, so this is the world's southernmost hotel. So that would be, of course, in Patagonia, in Chile. And they're building a hotel, I guess. New journey will become even more seamless as Silver Sea continues construction of a new purpose-built 150-room hotel. When it opens in 2026, the Cormorant at 55 South will be the world's southernmost hotels, offering amenities no other cruise line can brag about. A relaxing way station in a beautiful setting. Look at that. So I guess they felt like when you're traveling into Punta Arenas and you're going to Antarctica from Tierra del Fuego, there are not that very many nice hotels there. So they fly people in from, because it's pretty far. It's not like a couple of hours flight from Buenos Aires or something like that.
At least, yeah.
So I guess they wanted to have the ability to put people up in a nice place before they're heading down to having their caviar service before going to Antarctica.
Silver Sea level amenities at the hotel. So
there you go. I can see that. Do you think that'll be a trend, or is this going to be a one-off?
I think some of the high-end stuff is, is remarkably resilient, and I think, I could see this happening in other spots.
Yeah, so it's Four Seasons are opening up cruise lines, and Silver Seas is like, we're going to open up a hotel. We'll see what happens with that. And last but not least, this is not kind of news, but it is new of the year or annual pass. So did you hear about this Virgin Voyages that they have a year-long annual pass?
I did not know about this until minutes ago when we first talked.
Right. So apparently, Melinda was the one who alerted me to this. It's $120,000 per year for a stunning success of a seasonal pass. We're extending our sailors' stay on board our ships back-to-back cruises for an entire year for $120,000. You and a guest, so for two people, $60,000 per person, can swap on land living expenses for up to 365 days of sailing at any of our epic itineraries in Europe, Mediterranean, and the Caribbean. Anywhere our ships venture. And they also have something called the Deep Blue Extra. You can get the Deep Blue Extra will give you, with a purchased annual pass, you will automatically be welcome to our sailing club to enjoy Deep Blue Extra perks, which includes cabins with private balconies and hammocks. Could you imagine seeing me trying to fight my way out of a hammock?
Oh man, that would be something.
That would be something. That would be one of those. That would be one of those reels on Instagram.
We would definitely have to post that to social.
I don't think so. I think that would be, seeing Tommy fall out of a hammock. I don't know about that. You get your Wi-Fi. You get.
Falls out quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Laundry service, and so I guess fluff and fold. You got to do it yourself. You don't have a lady come to you or a man come to your cabin to pick up your stuff. You have to actually do it. You got priority boarding, pre-voyage and onboard support, bar tab credit, $100 bar tab on us for each itinerary you sail, 2 specialty coffees per cabin per day. Okay, so you just get one coffee.
That's
And,
I need more coffee than that for
and
120
also,
grand.
you need more than $100 bar tab. It's not
Yeah,
included, is it, on this ship with that stuff? You got to pay for everything, right?
you pay.
Right. But here you go. You can also add new for 2026. This is what caught my eye: Necker Island and more. From dazzling seas to iconic destinations, say hello to the most extravagant way to travel. I guess it's not 120, but $199,000 instead of
You could
120.
you could hobnob with Sir Richard, I guess, for
Yeah,
the. Huh.
yeah, and it's seems to be popular to own your own island in the Caribbean and invite guests to come
I
at
have
any
heard the
questionable
rumor.
level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, complimentary week individual stay in Necker Island. Round trip travel to Necker Island. Daily shake for champagne. What does that mean?
Daily Shake. I don't know. I
Is
gotta.
that a British thing?
Let's see. Daily. Let's Google.
And here we go again. Take home hammock. What makes you think that I'm going to put a hammock up in my backyard? So it's hammock in Necker Island and hammocks on the boat. Birthday upgrade to Rockstar Quarter category. One private hosted, curated short thingy every quarter. A cabana at our signature beach club in Bimini. Customized Rockstar robes. And a 10,000 onboard shopping spree at our high street shops.
Good times. I do have
I don't know. Do you
details.
think that that's worth another 80 grand on top of the 120?
I'll tell you, if you've got that kind of money to throw around, what's the diff? I say go for it.
Hmm.
And by the way, I've got details on Shake for Champagne and the Virgin Voyages app. If you open it and shake your phone, it will reveal the button and you press it. And a crew member will deliver a bottle of chilled Moet and 2 glasses to you.
So you have to win it, or is it every day? You get it.
I think the app on the ships you pay, it looks like with this
Right,
deal,
right, right.
it's
So you get
included
one, you get a daily shake.
every
So
day. Yeah,
you get a bottle of
once a
champagne every
day
day.
you can get a bottle of champagne.
That's better than the 2 coffees.
True.
$120,000 a year to be on a cruise ship for the whole year. I don't think
I
that
could.
sounds so bad.
It doesn't. I
Meaning that
almost.
if your rent is 3 grand, I
Yeah.
mean, it's money. $120,000 is money.
I think if you were motivated, you could probably piece together itineraries at a lower price point than that. I'm not that motivated though.
No, that sounds like also. I think that it's more organized here. So you gotta. I mean, you stay in the Caribbean and then you just get off the ship and you get on the ship. I guess that's the lazy way to do it.
Yeah.
Brilliant lady will make a inaugural tour across North America. So what is that? That's new for this year? North America cruises. So they're doing the West Coast now. L.A. in California, up all the way up to Vancouver in British Columbia. Stop. So that's new. Big Apple to Bermuda. Hollywood Sunset and Mexican. So they got Puerto Vallarta and Cabo.
Cabo. I love Cabo.
Then you've got fall foliage in Canada and New England. You've got Iceland, Greenland, and New York City. They're starting to expand a little bit. How many ships do they have, anyways?
I only know of
3, is it?
3, I think. That's how many ships?
Yeah, there you go.
Four ships.
There you go. So they got 4 ships, and they go. I'm sure that one in Caribbean, one in North America, and then they've got, which is probably a seasonal thing,
Yeah.
and then you've got one over in the Mediterranean, And yeah, so it seems like the classic way to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it looks like they're expanding, which is fun. There are some good itineraries. What about the Mediterranean? Where do they go? Is there anything more exciting than the normal? Excuse me.
I'm not sure. It looks like Scarlet Lady spends time in the Caribbean and then part of the time in the Mediterranean. So there's probably a transatlantic opportunity in there somewhere too.
Right. Tangier, Morocco, which is a very underrated city, I think is cool. I think that's an exciting place. It's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. But looking here, you're saying like from 4,180 per cabin. I assume that the 120 it comes with a balcony though, right? So
Well,
I, it's very difficult for me to say how. Yeah, you said you if you are motivated, you could probably piece it together cheaper.
yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be breaks in there though, right?
Oh,
Which
probably.
it'll
And
probably
changing
be that
rooms
regardless. But
and whatever.
you
Yeah.
have you can be less critical here because it doesn't matter how much it costs. You might get off the ship and say, hey, the next one that's available is the Eclipse in the Land of Fire and Ice, starts in Portsmouth and goes to Iceland and stuff, but it's $7,000, 7,500. Like, I don't want to do that, so I'll wait for the next one. Here it doesn't matter because any cruise that has availability you're on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like if you
maybe it
got
would
that
be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. If you got that kind of cash, I mean, I could see it being worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Villa V, our friends at Villa V, which I have not checked in with them this year to see how they're faring. Well, we can do that in the next episode. We have something to talk about there. It costs like the maintenance fee of that ship is a minimum of 8,000 a month. So this is, or 4,000 per person, right? I think the single supplement can get you down to like 5. But I would say that 120 isn't really that bad if you're
I
planning
know.
on.
When you think about it that way, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That is the very limited news for the cruise industry for this month. Tommy Danielsen and Marshall Jackson signing off, getting ready for happy hour.
Off we go.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.